Hey y'all, I am peeling some potatoes real quick and thought I'd hop on here with y'all. I've made this recipe before on Facebook over a year ago, and I never did it on YouTube, and it's real near and dear to me because it was my daddy's tuna casserole, so I'm going to share it again today. I have got me 3 big white, they're like bacon sized potatoes, peeled, and y'all, I have never written this recipe down, and I just learned it from watching my daddy, so I'm gonna be on the struggle bus, but I'm gonna try to make us a recipe. My daddy would make it. Y'all see I'm slicing these now, and I'm slicing them in fairly thick chunks, okay, because we're going to boil these, but we want them to keep their integrity and not just fall apart, so they can be a layer in our tuna casserole. A lot of you have told me that your tuna casseroles had noodles in it, and John's mother makes one with noodles in it, very good too. This one has potatoes, and it reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of school nights, my daddy making it, and I loved it. And my little sisters and I, we would all be excited on tuna casserole night because it was really good. It's real comforting, very comforting little meal, and it's also a quick and easy. I've never done a crock pot one. We need to come up with a crock pot tuna casserole, don't we? I bet we could. I sure do. I'm going to get these covered in water, and I'm going to go on and put some salt in them too, because that's when you get some seasoning in your potatoes, is while they're boiling. So I'm going to do that. Yes, I am. And I'm going to get this ready and then have it in the refrigerator, and this evening when John gets in, I can just pop it in the oven, and 20 minutes later we'll have supper. So that's what's real good about this one too. And I believe you probably could make it the night before. I do. And have it ready for the day. Okay, guys. Y'all see that? My daddy, like I say, he would make about twice that much for our whole family, because it was 3 sisters and my mama and him. So, but it's just John and me, right? And I'm just doing a generous pinch like that and covering them with water. And I'm going to boil these, but I'm not going to just boil them to death, okay? Just boil them till they're just done, because we want them to keep their integrity and stay a nice slice of potato for us. So there'll be a nice layer, not just like mush. And also reserve this potato liquid when we get through. Do not like pour them through a colander, okay? Be sure and save that, because we're going to use that potato starchy liquid to make our sauce. Y'all, while those potatoes are boiling for about 10 minutes, like I say, I don't want them to overboil and get mushy on us, I'm opening some tuna and I'm getting it draining. And my daddy always used tuna and water. We were raised no tuna and oil. They were always health conscious and weight conscious, I guess, growing up, which is good. That's not a bad thing to teach your children, is it? No. And so this can is a 12-ounce can, or 340 grams, and I did 2 of them, okay? Just so y'all know, my daddy would use about 4, okay, because he was doing a much bigger casserole. So I'm getting these draining. And I also drained 2 15-ounce cans of LEMON sweet peas, is the ones I like to use. And I drained those, and I've got those in a bowl. That's another one of our layers. And you could use any kind of, I call them English peas. I don't actually call them sweet peas. So I've got those draining. Now I'm going to set these to the side for our layers. And another thing I'm going to do, we are going to need a lemon, zested and juiced. So I'm going to start doing that. And then those potatoes will be about done, and I'll get back on here. Alright, first things first, we're going to spray our casserole dish with nonstick cooking spray, so we'll clean up easy. Yes, very important. And y'all, I'm not draining these in a strainer, remember, because we've got to use this starchy potato juice in our casserole. Yes. And mine ended up going longer. I had my son call, and then my daddy called, so My potatoes got really done, but as y'all see, it's not gonna matter. Normally I like them to be whole and little rounds, but it's not gonna hurt a thing. No, it isn't. I'm still dipping. All right, y'all see how nice and starchy this is? We're going to set this to the side to make our sauce. Next, on top of this is our drained tuna. And I just use a big meat fork and kind of spread it out here on this layer. Just like this. And a lot of you have asked me, y'all don't eat tuna, and said, what about canned chicken? And y'all, I think that would be wonderful and great on here. I sure do. Sure do. So y'all do some canned chicken and let us know how that turns out. I like the fishy flavor of the tuna, but like I say, you do it your way. All right, I'm gonna kind of squish this down for our next layer. Is our little English peas. And I opened 2 cans, and I'm not sure I'm gonna get all of them on here. My casserole's turning out bigger, isn't it? Trying to show y'all. I should have done it in a big old casserole dish. So, but we'll eat these on the side as well. So, no worries. My daddy actually did not put the peas on there, but I know the original recipe, I believe, calls for the peas on there. So we're going to put them on there. We'll do it all in one. Okay, guys, let's go to the stove and make our sauce. Back over here at the stove, I've got our potato juice. You see it's nice and hot still, and I've got it on medium low. And we are going to make a lovely little sauce to go on our casserole. First thing we'll put is a couple of tablespoons of butter. This is unsalted butter. And I use Cavendar's Greek. That's what my daddy used and my mama. And it's got salt and pepper, onion powder. It also has oregano in it, and it's got some other spices. And it's very tasty in here. My daddy and mama never measured, but I'm trying to come up with the measurement for us, guys. So I'm going to say a half a teaspoon in here. And you can go for there, and I bet a lot of you have used Cavendar's Greek. It's really good seasoning. One-stop shop, and because it's got salt and pepper, I'm not adding any more salt and pepper to our casserole besides what that pinch I put in here. Let's see. We also need parsley, dried parsley. You could use fresh, I'm sure, but once school begins, we're just going to stay inside. And 1 teaspoon of dried parsley. Sneak in some goodness to your family. Give that a little stir around. And then I've got the zest of 1 lemon. I'm going to put that in there. My daddy just put lemon juice, just that lemon juice that stays in your refrigerator. But I've got this fresh lemon, and he's so big, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put him in this juicer, but we're going to try. Yeah, he's going to make it. He's going to make it. He got to behave and get down in there. There we go. And that's half of him. We're going to do the other half, or we're going to attempt to. There we are. This really gives good flavor, especially to that tuna fish. You know, it's a very nice flavor. Fish and lemon, they just love one another, don't they? And I love them both. Do y'all? Y'all see how flavorful that little sauce is going to be? Now, as you see, it's just still potato juice, and it helps it thicken with its starches. But I've also got about a 1/4 cup of water with a couple of tablespoons of all-purpose flour in there. And that, I'm going to mix up our little slurry, as we call this. And the reason why I'm doing that and not just pouring my flour into that hot liquid is because it would lump up. As Miss Brenda, I heard Miss Brenda say it'll lump up. I just love that. I thought that was cute. But yeah, it will curdle on you or clump up. So you need to mix it in some cool liquid, okay? That's the only reason. And then as I pour it, I still stir with my whisk in here just to make sure no lumpiness, a nice smooth sauce. Just about the time I turned y'all off, it thickened. Y'all see that? Looks good, doesn't it? Now at this point, I'm going to taste it and make sure it's lemony enough and got enough Cavendar's Greek in it. Oh, it does. I would just say that's just perfect, y'all. Okay, y'all, we're back over here with our beautiful little casserole so far. We've got our lovely white sauce. And I'm just going to pour it over the top. And I may not use all of it, okay? Like I say, this recipe is not real precise because I just watched my daddy making it growing up, okay? So you make it as juicy or as not juicy as you want it. I just do enough where it covers it and I know it'll seep down into the potatoes. So I left about a half a cup down in there too, okay? All right. I know I'm gonna struggle trying to do us a recipe, aren't I? Okay, guys, I know y'all remember this. Right? I know. It's a classic little cheese, and it's perfect. And this is what my daddy used. And you literally layer, and I mean a nice thick layer on here. My daddy was one of those daddies that he worked and my mama worked, so he would come in before I was able to cook, and he would cook some nights too. He didn't just expect my mama to cook every night, y'all know. He was one of those hands-on daddies like that, and this was one of our favorite things he made, and he made lots of good stuff. I've shared some with y'all, and I've got more to share with you. But this was one of our favorites. Like I say, my little sisters and I. John told me years ago I made this. My sister Ginger would come over once a week. And I would make this occasionally for the both of us because I knew it was something comforting for us. When her little kids were real little, she could come over after work and we'd drink coffee and catch up. Now they're up and playing ball and doing this, that, and the other, and we can't get together as much, but y'all know how that is. But anyway, John told me one night, I don't know, some months into it or a couple of years, he's like, baby, I just don't like that tuna casserole you make. Would you quit making it? Yeah, I just don't care for it, just so you know. John's pretty honest like that. And I like the honesty. So I said, okay. I said, well, I'll just make tuna casserole. Ginger's coming over here, and I'll make you something different. You know, I don't want you to have to eat it. He's like, okay. Well, literally 15, 16, 17 years went by. Y'all saw I used about half of it. So if you're doing a big old casserole, you're going to need the whole thing. All those years go by, and I never made tuna casserole again for him. I make it for Ginger and me. And about 15 years later, he finally said one day, baby, I think I told you the wrong thing that I don't like that you make. And I said, okay. He said, I told you tuna casserole. I said, yeah. And I hadn't been making it. He said, no, I actually like the tuna casserole. He said, it's the meatloaf that I don't like. And I said, and I've been making meatloaf for 15 years. And I said, you mean to tell me that I've been making what you don't like for 15 years and not making what you did like for 15 years? And he said, yeah, I told you the wrong thing. Now, how he got meatloaf and tuna casserole mixed up, I do not know. And I said, well, what did you think when I kept making meatloaf? And he said, well, I just figured you were like, well, too bad. I don't care if you don't like it. Isn't he a silly thing? I know it. Guys, I'm going to bake this in the oven on 375 for about 20-25 minutes. You want to just let everything kind of, the cheese melt in there, and then let it get as toasty as you want. Some people just like it melted. and we kind of like it to have a few little toasty spots on it. So 20-25 minutes on about 375, and it's going to be ready for supper. Guys, you came home one more time, did you, baby?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Y'all see what it looks like? Yes, it is. It's nice and toasty, isn't it? You don't have to do this as long and get it as toasty. You can just melt your cheese, but you and I like it a little bit toasty, don't we? Yeah. Yeah, we do. So all we need is a blessing, huh, baby?
All right. Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you so much for this meal. I thank you for the day, Lord, for watching over us, keeping us safe. Lord, please just be with our children, our families, Lord. Be with the people in our prayers, our nation. We love you so much, Lord, and thank you so much for the day. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, y'all. Let's see. See if I can zoom them in. All right, baby, you want to hold that plate up for us, baby? I'll cut you out a big square piece. A big old square piece. I told everybody today how you told me that when I'd make this for me and Ginger, and then you said, baby, I don't like your tuna casserole. And so I quit making tuna casserole, but I made meatloaf forever.
Forever and ever.
Yep. I told them that story, and then finally you were like, I think I told you this. I think I told you the wrong thing, and I told them I don't know how you got tuna casserole and meatloaf mixed up.
Y'all, I don't know how I did either.
Woo! I gotta show everybody the goodie. Doesn't that look good?
That's gonna be great. Right?
Yes, it is. So after 17 years, you decided you did like tuna casserole.
I love me some tuna casserole.
You ate plenty of my meatloaf.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
All right, y'all. See y'all next time.
Bye.